A lot of us sitting here in Spain would regard ourselves as expats. Is the grass really greener on the other side? Well, there's about to be a huge survey to find out if that is the case. And to talk about that now is Stuart Smith. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Bill. How are you doing?
Very good, very good. It's fascinating for me particularly because I've only been here a year. So I'm your typical... First of all, what would you describe as an expat, Stuart?
Okay, first of all, good question. We'd like to describe an expat as somebody typically lives outside of their country of residence. So we're looking at three types of people. One, people who have moved permanently to a new country and they've bought a property and they're permanently residing there. Secondly, there may be people who are on 2 to 3 year long-term contracts, particularly in some of the big major industries like the mining or oil and gas sector. And thirdly, people who have actually chosen to move abroad for a completely different lifestyle. Those people that may have moved or may live, for example, in Spain, where your listeners are, maybe on 3 or 6 month work contracts, we don't really classify them as an expat, Bill.
Oh, that's interesting. And presumably you wouldn't class somebody as an expat if, for example, they'd moved from Glasgow to Cornwall.
No, we certainly wouldn't do, because they would still reside within the United Kingdom, so
yeah.
we certainly wouldn't classify them as an expat.
So what are you trying to find out here from us all then, Stuart?
Okay, the expatsurvey.com is about doing probably the world's most largest piece of research on the expatriate market to better understand the needs of expats and where they live. And there are hundreds of service providers that serve the expat community worldwide. So international schools, airlines, private medical insurance companies, the banking, the financial sector, housing, education, dating. There are hundreds of companies that provide services to the expat community, and to try and provide better intel to those companies to inform them about how they can improve their services to expatriates on a global basis.
I'm surprised that a study of this depth hasn't been done, well, not obviously before, but recently.
Yeah, it's a good question. There are independent pieces of research done in local countries, and 1 or 2 governments have undertaken research, but nothing along the size of this. This is a 3-part survey, which is going to be the first survey has already launched. It's 2 weeks live now. The second piece of research, it goes live in September. So the first one is about migration and lifestyle patterns. Okay. The second one is launching in September, is about retail and finance patterns, and the last one launching in November is about the travel and healthcare sector. So, and we are looking at literally expats living literally all over the world.
And is it true to say that the only research currently available was commissioned by a bank, so it's kind of focused pretty much on the financial market?
Well, yeah, that's one piece of research. I mean, the banking question, I know, they did a piece of research over their own database.
Of course, we all trust bank research, of course.
Of course we do, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure your listeners would have a little slight jingle of that as well. No, I mean, but yeah, you're absolutely right. That was only done over their own database, very skewed towards Asia. So what our research is doing is we're reaching out to the 220 million expats all over the world, and we're looking to, I mean, for example, there are estimated 12 to 16 million Brits that live abroad. There are anywhere between 7 to 10 million Chinese expats, anywhere between 6 to 8 million German expats. There are anywhere between 2 to 3 million Polish expats. And, there's probably anywhere between 7 and 9 million American expats. So add all those communities and those nationalities up, you're looking at around 220 million people worldwide that live outside of their normal country of residence. So it's a huge marketplace.
Certainly is. Now, obviously, when the word survey is brought up to the general public, they go, oh, God, not another survey. I've got to fill out. It's going to take me a month to do it, and what's the point? How does this survey manifest itself, and what's in it for us?
Good question. Right, the survey is broken into 3 parts. Our research shows that people who engage in research for anything more than about 15 minutes get bored and turned off. So each research will take about 15 minutes tops. We spread it out over a 6-month period, so there's a space of 2 months between each piece of research. It takes 15 minutes to fill out each particular survey. You can do it on your PC, on your tablet, on your smartphone, and at the end of it, there is a chance to win £1,000. Now, also, people can opt to donate that money to their favourite charity of cause, and early indications are, Bill, from the responses we got so far, that nearly 90% of the people that have filled it out have actually opted to leave it to their favourite charity if they do win it.
Brilliant. So, of course, the big question is, when will this result be out?
Okay, the first survey will be completed by the middle of September. The second piece of research by around the end of November, and then the third one by the end of the year. So by the end of the year, we are forecasting that we would have anywhere between 8,000 to 10,000 people worldwide who will have participated in this survey, which will be the largest piece of research ever undertaken. And it's also being headed up by the ex-research director of BBC World. I'm sure some of your viewers can pick that up on their satellite channel.
Yep.
And also from the Financial Times. So it's headed up by a very, very experienced research director and he was also the research director for Saatchi & Saatchi, one of the world's biggest advertising agencies. So he's got great experience.
Fabulous. Well, we'll certainly have you back on once that survey result is out, because it's going to be fascinating.
It certainly is. I mean, early indications are that, we've got some snippets already that around 60% of the people are aged over 55. 68% have been living in their current country for more than 6 years. The main reason why people have moved abroad is an improved lifestyle and improved weather. Interestingly, most of them are happy with their lives. Most frequent activities, reading, coffee shops, restaurants and socialising. But already indications are that the main issues when people did move was the language issue and utilities, so, power utilities. So this is some of the early indications we've got from the research already.
From our own kind of being kind of selfish point of view here, can you break out certain countries from your research once it's done?
Yes, we can. What we're going to do is we will be providing, because we've so far got about 140 media on board from around the world, and from different newspapers, magazines, radio stations, websites. So we're going to produce an executive summary, which we will launch to the press after each survey is produced. So the executive summary will be available to all of your listeners and all of your followers from around the world after each particular survey, and then we will produce a comprehensive executive summary at the end of the year when all three parts of the research are undertaken. Fantastic.
Well, we look forward to getting you back on to hear those results. Tell us that web address again for people who want to take part.
Yes, the web address is theexpatsurvey.com.
Is that two E's in the middle, so the and then expat?
That's right. It's two E's in the middle, so theexpatsurvey.com. And also, if anybody has any questions or any problems, you can email us at contact@theexpatsurvey.com. But we want to hear from as many people as possible. We'd love to hear from you. Share with us your views. We want to thank the listeners of Talk Radio Europe for participating in the survey.
Thank you very much indeed, Stuart. Appreciate it, and we look forward to talking to you again with some of those numbers coming in.
That's great, Bill. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Take care.
Regards from London.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.